Well, hello. Hopefully, y'all can hear me and the audio will be balanced. Thankfully, I'm playing a game where I can check the audio levels in between races, and the races are very short. But welcome to Need for Speed Shift 2, Shift 2 Unleashed, whatever you want to call it, and my, I guess, road to GT3 playthrough at career mode. So, I don't really know where to begin with this game. It is extremely divisive. I, for the longest time, obviously did not like it when it came out. Both Shift 1 and Shift 2 have some pretty obvious physics issues that were not thoroughly tested and uh, slipped into the game upon release and were never quite dialed out. Uh, so a lot of people obviously didn't like this game and shit on it, and there's a whole bunch of like negative aura surrounding this game. Depending on who you talk to, the physics issues are either intentional or they're not. Some people say they are, some people say they're not. Regardless, from a driving standpoint, there are definitely some polished stuff going on with this game, as well as Shift 1, which I've talked about in the past. Thankfully, because Shift 2 was released at a point in time when there was no Forza on PC, and it also included many Ferrari vehicles, or at least the first one did. The second one, I've added them in with mods. This game, for the longest time, up until about 2017, was the unofficial Forza of PC racing sims. And that's really cool. There ended up being a huge modding community surrounding this game. There's tons of add-on content, both in cars and career adjustments, and just little tweaks to make the game a lot more fun from an end-user standpoint. And some of them are the community patch, some of them are just like basic quality of life issues, such as you can switch all the buttons to have like PS2, PS3 buttons inside the menus, which I've installed. There's some cars that were cut from the final game, but their files were still floating around inside the BFF packages, so they've been enabled. Like, there's all kinds of shit people have modded with Shift 2, and it has gone from being a game that was just kind of not fun at launch to being a really nice snapshot of the kind of car collection RPG style sims that we had, starting with Gran Turismo in the mid-1990s and all the way up until about 2013 or 2014. You know what, I'd say 2011. Obviously, car collection games have been kind of corrupted as of late with loot boxes and silliness that you see in the Forza games. And then GT has done its own... How would you even call it? GT's kind of gone in like the online direction to kind of copy iRacing. So that means Shift is one of the last of its kind in terms of these like grindy JRPG style games. And it's great, and it ends up being a lot of fun. This game benefits from having all major car licenses. There's Ferrari, there's Porsche, there's McLaren, there's pretty much everything under the sun as of 2011. All the major cars, such as the McLaren 12C and the Pagani Huayra, which were like leading in class when this game first launched, are in there, and it makes for a really interesting game. The UI is great. The graphics are still quite good, which is kind of interesting because this game is almost 10 years old. But this game is beautiful to play, and it runs extremely well even on modern systems. And Shift 2 in general has kind of gone from being this like oddball Forza knockoff that was definitely had polish issues at launch to this quite well-rounded PC version of Gran Turismo, and I like playing through it every now and then, because as we continue to go into the loot box saga and as we continue to go into these weird games that are trying to get you addicted and games as a service, ends up being the last of its kind, and I quite enjoy it. Driving wise, it's like R Factor but more forgiving and more slidey because it is the Madness engine underneath it, which is a heavily modified and changed, and just every sort of tweak that could be made was made, tweaked to the ISI motor engine. So it's essentially Need for Speed R Factor. That's a really simplistic way of putting it. I know the overlords might not like that so much for me to describe it like that, but it's true. It's a very modified version of R Factor, and it's a lot of fun, and it has a lot of content. And it also has a proper, albeit simplistic, career mode. Now, obviously, we talk about games like, so of course, a Competizione, having like a season mode where you start as like a factory driver and yada yada yada, or not a factory driver, a what's it called, like a, not a feeder series driver, but like a development driver, and you kind of go and you get a ride. This game is more Forza style, where you start in ship boxes, you buy progressively better ship boxes, you upgrade your ship box, and eventually you wind up in GT3 and GT1 cars. And in this game, with the mods and the downloadable content packs I've gotten, there's drag racing, there's historic racing, there's something else. There's all sorts of like crazy fucking cars. There's like boss races. This game is really big, and if you play it in a certain way, it's really long. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna see how quickly I can get to the GT3 cars. Now, the way this game has decided to reward you with XP, and the way it's structured, and some of the challenges that are in career mode, and the path you can take, it's actually possible to get to GT3 cars quite quickly, and it's just a design thing that was overlooked. I don't know if it's like a QA thing, or if it's something that just someone made a oops, and when they designed the progression for this game, they didn't really consider that people might actually be good at it. And I believe you can make it to the GT3 cars in a little over 2 hours, so that's going to be kind of the challenge today. I'm not going to set like a hard count, like time limit on it, but I do know it's possible to take a certain path through career mode, doing essentially nothing but time trials, and actually make it into GT class cars and make a lot of money quite quickly. And I mean, there's some ways I can cheat in this game. Like, some of the cars I've enabled as DLC have no cost associated with them, at least from what I remember. So you can make a lot of money really quick, or you can just simply buy, I guess, good cars right away. But I'm going to try not to do that. And yeah, it's a fun little game to play. If we really want to get technical, it is GTR3. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, obviously everyone knows GTR3's been like this mythical figure in the sim racing community, this mythical game that everyone's been striving to make at some point. This is GTR3. Whether you like it or not, this is what came of GTR3. And the good news is that it's a pretty big game. It's got a ton of cars. I think there's over 100. There's tons of customization, like fun shit to do. The downside is that if you wanted a serious sim like GTR2, it's not there. There's no pit stops, so the damage is kind of all over the place. There's a lot of fantasy tracks. It's, the Forza style crew mode, it's all that. But for better or worse, this is GTR3. And that's why I have labeled this as GTR3. Anyway, we'll get to the comments. After doing physics, I think ISI got the game engine pretty right. It gets a bad rep from questionable content pumped out quickly. No, and that's true. The ISI engine is quite good, and it's just a matter of modders knowing how to use it, and knowing what values to input where, and knowing how to cheat the system to get certain results. But ISI is essentially the reason sim racing exists nowadays, because so many games are based on their platform. Takina, was this one made by SMS? That is correct. This is a Slightly Mad Studios game, which, I mean, it looks weird me playing it in my spare time, but no, it's a good game. It's Forza. It's Forza on PC before Forza made it to PC. And even nowadays, Forza's kind of that weird loot boxy thing. So whichever side of the fence you fall on in regards to loot boxes and just weird progression mechanics. This is more Forza 2 than Forza 7. So I will try and bring up the chat here so I can play. But anyway, hopefully this works. I'm going to scroll through. Show you my controls. The settings are pretty simple in this game. I changed the steering lock a bit. I think I have it set to like 900 in the profiler. But I changed it a bit in game because I wanted to kind of play like an arcade game and be kind of sensitive. For controls, you just set it as a G27. I have a G29. The gameplay assist, it's all pretty obvious. So we're going to save this, and we are going to go into career. And we are greeted, I believe, by Von Gittin Jr.
So you want to be a professional driver.
Hopefully the sound's okay. The one thing this game did really well is presentation. There's tons of cutscenes. The menus are all really slick. I've turned the music off so I don't get a copyright claim. I really don't want to watch this, but... So anyway, first challenge is just a shakedown at Suzuka West, or Suzuka East, I think? Suzuka East. NASCAR ran here in a couple... I think they did one race, and you just do one lap.
I'll be watching, and when you're finished, I'll have some settings for you.
Guess we'll find a good view. I do have a cam hack, but it crashes the game every once in a while.
Okay, it's best to enter corners slow, then accelerate hard out.
As you can see, this is... It's not quite R factor, so like the braking distances are a bit weird. Force feedback is kind of strange. It's like heavy and like almost delayed, but as you can see visually, this game looks great. So I don't have the Polish tire mod installed. This is just the game's default physics with the community patches. And we have already beaten all the targets.
Okay, we're gonna lock in your settings.
The screen's blacked out. Are you serious? What the fuck? Why is the screen fucked up? That's great. Game capture. That is completely strange. Yeah, I got you guys. Wow, that's crazy. So we're gonna get cucked. Yeah, I'm aware, Ethan. I've got it up on like I've got the YouTube thing in the corner. Wow, this is kind of shitty. So we're gonna have to run this bitch in a window? I think we are.
Sick.
The best thing is you can probably hear the menus I'm going through, which is kind of hilarious. Alright. I would laugh so hard if it like went back to normal when I went to the menu. Windowed mode, yes. Save. Make sure you want to save. Please restart. Great. Nope, I hit the wrong button. Quit. So the controls are good, you guys just can't see shit. That's great. So we'll exit out of that. We'll reboot the game in windowed. Sorry about that, my dudes. I mean, I guess I should have tested, but... Okay, so Shift 2. Now it's open in a window. Window capture. So pray this works. And I guess we'll see in like 2 seconds if this works. So that's great. I wasted a bunch of your time and I apologize for that, but hopefully on this holiday Monday you are not. Hopefully you're not doing too much, so it's 5 minutes of your time. Anyway, I guess we'll end up doing the first race again since it didn't save.
2 laps to hit some target times. I'll be watching, and when you're finished, I'll have some settings for you.
It kind of runs like ass, and I'm not sure why. And I have the arrow on, which I don't need.
Okay, it's best to enter corners slow, then accelerate hard out.
This is great. It runs like shit now. At least you guys can see it, though, so that's the big thing. Look like a jabroni for running with all the assists on. The performance is just so bad.
Not so bad.
Anyway, even with the assists on, we beat the targets because it's probably not meant to be the most difficult race. I'm disappointed that the performance right now just sucks. Like, it's like stuttery and shit. Everything off, full damage, best line, no. Sure. It was there in full screen, just extremely small in the upper left. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Alright, this is it, man. Go get him.
So the narrator is Von Gittin Jr., he's a drift driver.
Green light.
And I have no force feedback right now.
You need to be aggressive, but you gotta give the other car something.
So that's interesting. I alt-tabbed once and it fucked up the FFB. I don't think this race is meant to be difficult, but we're kind of killing people right now. But yeah, I have no FFB at all right now. But that's okay, because we don't need FFB. I didn't spend $2 grand on a wheel, so... Oh, we have a little FFB. Never mind.
Last lap, you got this.
So we're running auto transmission and like no force feedback, which is really funny. Yep, I have a little FFB now.
Alright, try to find a good rhythm through the S's.
I am running like the torrented unpacked version of the game, so like it's screwy sometimes, it'll crash on me. The FFB will like activate and deactivate. It does some weird shit. Like really weird shit.
Alright, man, you're doing it. That's it, man. You're almost there.
I heard a rumor once SMS intended to put prototypes in Shift 2. Is that true? I don't know.
Nice work. You look awesome.
I don't know, I'd have to ask. I don't think so, because that wouldn't really fit with the theme of the game. Man, if I could make 20k for doing a 2-lap race, I'd be set. Anyway, Vaughn's gonna bitch at me to buy a car. There's one correct answer here, and it's the Chevrolet. You get a pretty decent amount of, like, starter cars, but... nothing will ever beat the red dancing TNP cars. Yep, that's still a thing. We'll go with the Cobalt. Hello, bro, dude, man. I don't care. We're going to customize our car. And by customize, I mean we're gonna... Oh, ugly tan car. Please. Yeah. Can I paint the rims? Can I put rims on it? No, I guess not. Let me paint the rims. Fuck you. Anyway, there's our ugly tan car. Yeah, I don't care. We don't have a lot of money. We can have fun with this. Nope, don't want a body kit. A street weight reduction, what's that? I mean, that's not the worst idea. Let's do weight reduction. It stays in D anyway. Alright, let's start burning through career mode.
Okay, let's get you back on the track. You're
Cool.
a part of modern D.
Shut
You're
up.
starting out basic, but that doesn't mean
Hold on, we can
starting
go
out
right to
slow.
hot lap
You're gonna
events?
prove those skills,
Oh
my
boy.
man.
Oh boy. So this is how you fly through the game. There's a fuck ton of hot lap events.
One more.
Yeah, that's great. So you can, right as you begin the game, you can go right into the hot lap events. And it's not so much about the money you make.
2 corners to perfect. Turn 1, paddock hill is a downhill plunge. And
It's
great
about just
overtaking.
beating the lap time and being able to move on quick and getting a shitload of XP.
Good luck.
And because this game has like track XP and corner mastery and shit like that, you gain a fuck ton of XP just by not being retarded. In that corner I was retarded, but you know what I mean. So you do one lap and you win an event.
Absolutely epic drive, man.
Best part of the game was the Legends pack. Yep, agreed. Like I mean, they knew they had to make like a Forza style game to satisfy EA, right?
Awesome driving. You just set your first record in Autolog.
I have to watch the Autolog movie. Why?
You'll have your own personalized driver profile. You'll be able to see the
But no, as I was
stats,
saying,
rewards, and favorites,
uh,
and you'll be sent an alert at
fuck,
any
I forgot what I was
time a
gonna
new
say.
record is set.
My bad.
Your friends
My
will
bad.
recommend events, and Autolog will suggest others in the recommend section. You can share photos and replays in the gallery.
Oh, as I was saying,
You may be able to
like they knew they had to make a game to like satisfy EA and like the Forza crowd, but like there's still references to like GTR and GTR Legends or GT Legends. Like the Legends pack is like a GT Legends expansion pack, right? And then like the main cars in this game are like GTR 3, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sorry for making you sit through the Autolog video. My bad, guys.
It's your first Twilight race. You can handle it. Keep your speed up, and we'll see you on the boat.
It's your first Twilight race. Okay, let's be real here. It's one lap around a pretty clearly lit track in a car that pretty much drives itself. Just getting free XP from not driving like a retard. It's great. I'm on auto tranny, by the way, so I'm not shifting. Fuck you, that was a clean corner. Yep, there we go. So it's funny because like I've bought in a car, right? I've bought in our shitty tan Cobalt, and then immediately I don't even have to use it, which is, in my opinion, bad game design. 15, 16, 17, yeah, we're gonna make it.
We won! Good job, man.
It's your first race using Tesla's autopilot. Yeah, no kidding. But like, seriously here, like, $1,000 for one lap. Like, no one would ever pay you that. And again, I'm not on the Steam version, so it will refer to me as player. Hey, this looks fun. But yeah, like, hey, try out this, or go buy your fucking Cobalt, and then you buy the Cobalt, and it's like, yeah, you don't need to use it for the first 3 races. Great. Thanks. Oh, with even like shorter layout. Okay. The performance is like sad right now, just FYI. Like not unplayable, but like this is an issue.
Wow, you really showed them out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
So in the events where you race Von Gittin, why is he still your crew chief? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's little shit like that that like people just didn't point out. I don't think.
Someone has decided to lend you some sweet cars. We're talking Aston Martins and Porsches. Beat the lap target times.
I got a
and
badge.
build
I
up
don't
your
know what that
XP.
means at all.
Someone up there seeing your talent. You've got the chance
Cool.
to battle for modern C. Prove
5
yourself.
laps around this fucking
Full-on
shit?
race
Fine.
around-
So I've not used the car I bought at all yet. You get these little invitationals where it's like an invite to like try out for the next tier. Or not, because it crashed. That's great, but that's the unpacked version for you, so I'm not too concerned. Just boot that shit up again. So what happens when you run the pirated copy of the game, and this is the pirated copy where if you play it for like X amount of time, you get like the registry error, and it's like fuck you, go buy the game, and you have to learn how to fucking delete the registry code or the registry entry rather. It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyway, we're back in the game now. There's like no need for this race to be 5 laps though. Like at all.
We're on Suzuka West today. You've got to nail the final spoon curve. Get the right balance of speed and control, and we'll be on the podium.
Dude, if I had fucking like grid girls for a stock Lotus 6 Siege, I'd have fucking made it, bro. So the force feedback is back. I feel like the game's either running a little better or I'm just used to it now. Out of the way. Fuck you. I just don't know why we need a race this long, this early in the game, but okay. I also don't know where my mirror went. There we go. This game also has a problem with the AI just not being a challenge. At least until like the endurance races. There's that patented shift 2 slidiness. Yeah, it's like micro stuttering on me big time, which is kind of shitty. There's no wheel spin. Rear tires are just glued to the ground. That was lap 2. Like, what? This race is gonna be almost fucking 15 minutes. That's completely insane. Like a lap time of 1:30. Okay, maybe not 15 minutes, but like 2, 4, 6, 8. Almost 10 minutes. That's still like kind of retarded. And the AI's nowhere close to me. Great, good job, me. As you can see, I'm just thrilled to be driving this race. Guess we can fuck around with the cockpit views, though. The main cockpit view is pretty good. The helmet cam is kind of okay. But it's like disorienting. So I just do hood view. Again, it does not help that I have like crazy amounts of FPS issues right now. Two to go. Guess I'll level up here in a sec. Yep. Didn't really want to shift down there, but that's auto tranny for you. Again, no throttle control at the rear end. Hit the gas as hard as you can. Coming up on 1 to go. Yeah, this race is awful. And this is one of those design things where it's like you can tell like the sim guys made it. Because like you should know that like in the first hour of gameplay, if you make people do a 10-minute race, it's just no. But racing games are really finicky like that, where if you don't have a person on the crew who knows like every single track, every single car, and can like extrapolate lap times, you end up being like, oh well, let's just do like a small Suzuka layout, and not realizing that the small Suzuka layout is like actually kind of big too. But yeah, for like the money I made, this is really bad. Like really bad.
Amazing driving out there, man. Amazing.
So what are your thoughts on iRacing's new tire model? They're bringing it on the K&N car, so you need to test if that car is stupidly hard to drive. Well, I got banned from iRacing, so I won't be able to test it, but it'll be interesting. We have leveled up. But I mean, like, it's to the point where it's been so long and they still just haven't got it that it's like, why would, like, I just have no faith. Less than no faith, how about? Okay, so apparently we've unlocked a shitload of events. This is interesting. What the fuck's Eliminator?
You've got access to the Eliminator. Every time the clock runs down, the guy tailing at the back gets taken out.
That sounds cool.
The last car rolling will be the one.
Oh, and it's all loaner cars? Great. So I don't have to use my car at all. Four-minute race. Don't be last. Sure, that sounds not too bad.
There's a real mix on the Bayside run.
I'm not sure if this is a mod where it like unlocks all the levels or whatever.
Whoever wins is gonna be at speed. Make sure it's you.
Someone would have to check in like the main retail version of the game, but like this is what I mean is that you can do certain events to just like shoot through the levels. And I always remember this game being that way. Out of the way. Miami's probably one of the better fictional tracks in this game. Just really detailed. What the fuck is this AI doing? Goodbye. But like, see, what bothers me is they're not even running the right line. Like, that's nowhere. Like, it's not even about cutting track or not. It's like, you get up on these guys and it's like, okay, you can run the curbing. Not hit the wall like I just did, but like, you can run the curbs here. You can be like really aggressive with your lines and the AI just don't take it. So like, to me, when I play something like this, it's like, how is the AI line determined, if that makes sense? I'm gonna die. Yeah. We have fucked that race up. Or have we? That's the shitty slidey physics though, so we'll just restart that. Yeah, the iRacing ban's interesting. I ran under a fake name, which you're allowed to do. Didn't cause any problems, and then someone posted my grip flick video to the forums, and it was kids between 800 and 1100 iRating who were just complete shit at the game, being like, he's horrible. He's depressed and delusional. Getting wrecked again by the shitty collision physics. But no, it ended up being like 3 straight pages of just people being like, fuck this guy. So I guess they all just reported me for being under a fake name. Which is funny because it completely justified why I was under a fake name in the first place.
Come on, nail this one.
Like, I'd prefer to just race in my little corner with my friends and just not cause problems. But, for lack of a better word, the autistic kids who sit in the forums and reply to every single post and have no hope in hell of winning any sort of online race just want to fucking pile on someone because that's their social group and it makes them feel good about themselves. And like I still remember some of the names of like the people on the IR forums that are like legit guys who either don't race or just complete shit at the game, but own like all the content and reply to every fucking forum thread because there's more than just one. There's a couple, and it was like all those characters, and I was like, okay. Like there's a good group of people in iRacing. There are knowledgeable people in iRacing, but for lack of a better word, there are also just like kids who. Are you fucking serious? There are kids who use it as like a social group and just like try and kiss up to people and like, yeah, it's all my sim racing friends, man. So they just parrot the popular opinion. If a new piece of content comes out, they always praise it. I enjoy getting wrecked by the AI here. I don't even want to say like fanboys because that's not what's occurring. It's more like just drones. It's the same people too. Between 800 and 1500 I rating, which is horrible. It basically means like every race you've gone in, you've lost or finished in the bottom half of the field, which is like at that point it's sad because it's like, what are you doing? And every thread is just like, yep, feature X is the greatest. Person X who rips on iRacing just hates them. Because there's been a couple. And it's just like sad. Just no critical thought. There we go. There is input lag and there's also like performance issues I'm having, but I just don't care enough to like figure them out right now. There's issues in this game where if you touch a car, it like sticks to them. And the collision physics are really weird. It's not what you know about R factor. I think there's like some shit going on with NVIDIA physics that causes the cars to have like weird reactions if you make contact, but we're doing alright now. Again, I'm not really understanding like the AI line here, because there's just like the line you would take as a human driver is like very aggressive. You're curb hopping, you're doing a lot of like, you're really throwing the car around, and the AI are like avoiding curbs. Holy shit, you're actually playing Shift 2? I am. God damn, dude, that sucks. Hopefully it's not a permanent ban. See, that's the difference though, like I don't really mind if it's permanent or not. I'm more disappointed in the principle.
We won, yeah!
Like you shouldn't be this paranoid out of a single user. Like especially in light of the stuff with like 2K sending private investigators to that guy's house over Borderlands. Like, you're a game company selling like a $60 video game. I mean, there are Walmart bikes. Let's put it this way: there are Walmart bikes for like kids that are more expensive, and those companies don't give a fuck if you go on like Walmart's Yelp page and be like, "I bought a bike and it sucked." They don't get that paranoid where they like try and ban you from Walmart, you know.
Okay, this is your first night race. It doesn't get any tougher than this.
Yeah, iRacing's trap is don't car hop. Stay in one car you enjoy. Learn one car. It's an issue a lot of sim racers make. Just in general, they want to drive everything and they don't really like They don't learn what they should be learning. It'd be like playing a new game every day. Like, are you really going to get good enough to understand what's going on? Like, I'm not saying you have to win all the time, but like, you start out with either a 1250 or 1300 I rating. Like, it's pretty like basic like that. There's also the issue of iRacing having weird like things you need to do in each car. Like, for example, Shift 2, like, I know people rip on it because it's an arcade game, but you can jump from car to car and it generally drives like a car. So like, I can go from the Viper to the LFA, and like, barring like slight weight changes, like, I can physically feel this car is heavier. What I'm doing in each corner is the same because it's a car. Whereas iRacing, it's like, you have to be like, well, they botched the setup this week, so I have to drive it like this, or the tire does this, so I have to do X, but only in this car. And when you multiply that across every other car, you reach a situation where it's like you're almost playing a completely different game, which is not how cars drive. Like, the reason you see guys like Alonso going from just like everything, like, oh, I'm going to do Dakar one week, or I'm going to do this, 1 year, and they're always really good at it, is because the cars dynamics don't really change a whole lot. Rubber tires aren't fundamentally different when you cross state lines. See, here another, I guess I would say, issue with the AI is like, I'm cutting the curbs and the AI aren't. So like, that's free speed, and that kind of changes the outcome of the race. And I guess they would have little boosters out of the corner. God damn, this game looks great though. But no, I'm more disappointed in the principle in terms of like an iRacing ban. Like, all you had to do this entire time, like, because this is like beef that goes back like 6 years now, which is completely ridiculous. But like, all you had to do is just ask me or point out and be like, why are you so outspoken against it? Like, part of the reason I work with SMS like now is because Ian actually had that conversation with me. And he met me halfway and he's like, you know what, some of your complaints are valid, and like, you're right about some stuff. And I was like, that's really, like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a dev, instead of labeling me this like some of what Gardner said to Bram was just like kind of insane. But like, I appreciate that Ian didn't go that route and instead was like, sure, let's have a chat. Like, what don't you like? And here's what you said that is actually quite valid, and we would actually appreciate having your feedback. Whereas iRacing for years and years didn't have that conversation, and still hasn't had that conversation, other than, we don't agree with what you're saying. Which, okay, that's great, but like, we're all adults here. Can you point to some specific examples of things I've either written or said on the forums that is not true, or that you feel is in their words slanderous? And they never did.
Wow, you really showed them out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
I'm the random freak who really likes Shift 2. You know what, it's like I said at the start of the stream, it's a good game. It's like they've taken the good parts about Forza 2 and the good parts of R Factor and just mixed them and sprinkled some like GTR into it. It's great. Off to the next eliminator. Thank you for saying it. 90% of my car-to-car issues is the tires ammo. Take the roof for GT3. Rough's tires just die after about 10 minutes. Well, I mean, that can be aided by just underdriving it a whole bunch, but like, even me, I really don't understand how to preserve tires in iRacing, because like, I'll see people sliding in front of me, and Chris has his problems too, so I'm just kind of repeating what he said. But like, I'll see a car sliding in front of me and I'm like, okay, I know how iRacing's tires work, you're killing your tires, and then they just check out from me, and I'm like, I don't understand, because if I do that, it nukes the car. There's just a bunch of weirdness. And I've found it easier to just play like road racing sims because I don't have to deal with that. Because I think if you watch any of my streams, like from iRacing when I was like dicking around there, you could tell I was not having fun, and I was just like, this is wrong. That being said, like, if you enjoy it, I think you should still continue to play it. But, like, for people like me, like, I don't have fun if the game I'm playing doesn't make sense. If I'm playing a game where the car is just not doing what I see on TV, to me that's not fun. Sorry for the constant beeping, but that seems to be eliminator mode. Hello. I still haven't used my tan cobalt yet. I am very much hoping I, like, fucked something up. But again, there's challenges that are unlocked from the start, and I don't really know why they're unlocked from the start. And in playing them, they allow you to just fly through the game. Yeah, no, and I agree the multiplayer in iRacing is really good. Like, it was fun to race with Chris and Travis and Sal. It was. And it was fun, like, some of the other guys I met. What was this guy's name? Blaine Aiken, who's like 14. Like, we just brawled every single race we were in there. And, like, to a lot of people, that offsets it. Like, for yourself, that probably offsets it. Like, it's just fun. But, like, for me, it's like... I mean, it really goes back, like, it's not even an iRacing thing, it's just, like, I have a certain limit of, or threshold for bullshit that I'm willing to put up with in a video game. And this even goes back to when I was, like, really, like, actively playing Madden back when I had, like a GameCube and Xbox. Like, there are things that would happen in Madden to me that I'm just like, this is not football. This is, like, something really fucked up that EA actually needs to fix because it's not fun. Like, EA's issue for the longest time, for, like, the one or two people watching this who probably played Madden, the linebackers would have, like, crazy awareness, and would, if you threw a pass over the middle, the linebackers would get, like, a super jumping ability and just pick you off. Which is really not how football works, because, like, you can easily throw touch passes over them in real life. Like, it's not difficult.
Excellent stuff.
But EA's issue was suddenly that if you threw a pass over a linebacker, he'd have, like, just ridiculous hands and pick you off. So your entire game plan had to change. And it was frustrating. iRacing is sort of like P-Cars 2, a few updates and patches away from being a nearly perfect game. Yeah. The hard thing is that, like, at least P-Cars 2's issues don't, like, I guess, cripple the gameplay. Like, when Ethan and I have done, like the stock car series and stuff on SRS, and, like, he's been doing a lot of the GT3 stuff during, like, American lunchtime. Hot lap gauntlet. Here we go, boys.
For these hot laps, you're being loaned some insanely
I know.
designed vehicle. A Lamborghini.
But, like, when Ethan does his European GT3 series races, like, the game works. And, like, you can build a setup that's realistic and it's fast. You don't have to rely on, like, exploits or knowing somebody who knows someone on the dev team who understands that feature X is not modeled correctly and has to, like, adjust his setup a certain way. Like, he can just jump in and just run the race. and from firing up the game to exiting the game, like maybe the worst thing is like that like a couple UI elements are like flaky. That was not where I was supposed to brake. Whereas in IR, it's like the way the tires behave fundamentally changes the entire driving experience. This event I always found really hard to beat, so this might take a few tries. Nope, first try.
Wow, you really showed them out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
GT5 and GT6 are in the drawer here, and Shift 2 is in my PS3. Set the caster angle to 75% on all cars, and you have like Gran Turismo with actual physics. I might have to try that. P-Cars is more car-to-car issues, iRacing is a service-wise issue, yeah. Even though Alex is like 1 second faster than me, is basically drifting every corner. Yeah, I'd have to watch that. I mean, that could be just like a bug, like in terms of like netcode, like prediction code. Because I know you race against like a ton of Russian dudes, and I think as we know, their internet is not the greatest.
Okay, we need to nail the last 2 corners. A tricky 90-degree right that leads onto the suit curve. When you power back onto the straight, use the curve on your final exit.
Nope, 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 nope. Not the greatest lap right now. .107.
Feels good to be a winner, doesn't it?
Oh, he's karting instructor. That would make sense. I mean, like, there's stuff you could probably experiment with, like less camber, almost. There we go. Biscayne Boulevard. That looks fun.
Don't let the straights fool you. These
This
corners
car
are
was
technical.
sweet.
There's gonna be tight turns, high-speed chicanes, and heavy traffic. Good luck.
think we're gonna make it. Yep. Always about like 2 seconds ahead of the gold time.
Drive, man. That's how you get the job done.
Think you should have gone to Sim Racing Expo? No. Man, like, I mean, like, I watched some of the coverage with Dustin on, when was that, Saturday? Sunday? I don't know. And it's weird, man. Like, I still don't, like, I get it's a hobby and, like, it's fun and shit, but, like, it's overdone, man. The races themselves were just not very good. Like, you had the race room TCR race was just people junking the shit out of each other, and it's like, those are the best drivers you could find? My main issue with P-Cars 2 is the Xbox version is 100% borked, and the car-to-car experience is all over the place. LMP 900 is a perfect example. I think you mean FIA GT1. Oh no, LMP1. Or no, a mix. Audi R8 feels crazy twitchy. The GT1 had 0 FFB. Nissan R390 had iRacing tires that melted and constantly wanted to spin. Yet you jump into the GTP Group C class, every car worked, every car felt fantastic, and I loved driving them. That's interesting. I will have to look into that. Thank you. Because I know I don't experience that on PC. So, I have to look into that shit.
Awesome, man. Your driving has earned you a place in an invitational for Modern B. Take first and
That's
second
ridiculous. I don't want
around
to do that
Catalunya,
fucking
and you'll be bumped up
invitational
to
shit.
faster cars and crazier tracks.
So are all these unlocked? Sure. That's interesting, but whatever. I'll have
This
Gauntlet.
time, you've got a hold of the keys
Hey,
to
these
some
look fun.
classic supercars.
Koenigsegg,
Chasing lap
Apollo,
times in a
Veyron,
Bugatti
sure.
Escape.
It's cringy to me, I admit. The whole Sim Racing Expo thing, it's bloody racing games. No, and like, I mean, I don't know, cause like, it makes sense, cause like, it's big in Europe. And like, you gotta have a place to like show off gear. You gotta have a place to like show off new games. Most of the teams are located in Europe, so like, why not show off and have a presence there? But like, I don't know how to word it properly, because people get fucking offended over this shit, but it's like, you don't see RC monster trucks doing the same thing. You really don't. I mean, there's probably like RC plane expos and shit like that too, but like, I feel like I'm one of the few people who understands that like, you can't just force people's nerd hobby into other people's faces and be like, accept this, because that's a way to rub people the really wrong way. Don't think I'm gonna get it this lap. Wow. Gonna have to actually drive a bit. Wow, that's a horrible lap. Ouch. This car's pretty fun. There we go.
We won! Good job, man! Nice drive!
I think what Austin means is that, man, it's okay, you can have your gathering, just please don't pretend this is any way close to real racing. Like, no, it's true. Like, it's not that I disagree with the idea of an expo, because again, it's just like on par with like RC plane expos, which I'm sure happen. But like I watched the iRacing, I guess, finish, right? Or the Porsche Cup event that was at Montreal, and it's like the commentators are just like so into it, like they're genuinely excited, and then like the camera would pan to like the audience,
Okay.
and it's just like
We're
empty
giving this
bleachers,
a
and then
go.
like a
Take that
spot
first
of
off this
like
turn with speed, then we
maybe
can build a good pace
50,
on the
60
way down to
people on the
Magnuson
floor.
seconds.
So I take it this is old Silverstone. So every lap I've done, it's been almost 2 seconds quicker.
All right. Today we're desert racing. Keep up the pressure from the start. Watch for tight corners near the end of the lap.
So Ambush Canyon's pretty fun. Another really good fantasy track in this game. That was a lucky bounce. 2. Yep, we got it.
We won! Good job, man.
Leveled up. 4 grand in cash. See what some of y'all have to say now. Coolest car is one of the stupidest names. Yeah, that's about right.
Nice, man. You just got an invite to the
Modern A
big
Invitational. Oh, this is the McLaren race.
at Nürburgring in a McLaren MP4, and you'll be fast-tracked up into modern A.
Got any mods installed? Yes, I do. I have a progression mod, which allows me to make a decent amount of money off single races. I have a bunch of cars that are technically official content. So I have the Ferrari pack from Shift 1. I have the Legends and Speed Hunter DLC. So that adds basically a GT Legends expansion. It adds drag racing. It adds a bunch of drag racing mods and some fun stuff. I have an all cars purchasable in the showroom, so I can buy like the pre-order cars and like the bonus EA games, like online pass cars, or like memory card cars, such as like if you have NFS Hot Pursuit, you get like a special Revention Cop car. So all those like little bonus cars are in the showroom. I have an FIA GT3 filler pack, so there's the McLaren 12C GT3 car. There's like the Ferrari, I guess it'd be the 488 GT3 car, 458. There is like a set of open top cars that were cut from the game but are still in like the files, like completely fine. There was supposed to be like a final DLC pack that never came out. I have that. Yeah, mostly just car mods, and then I have for aesthetics the PS whatever buttons. So this race isn't too bad. MP4 12C at the Nürburgring. This one you make a fair bit of money doing, and I don't mind driving the ring, so I'll do this. Beat a lap time of 7:35. Okay.
This is it, man.
This is the race I believe is kind of a shit show because of the AI. You'll see what I mean in a bit here.
That's the green. Come on, nail this one.
Hello. Got clipped by the Bugatti there. AI being the AI. I appear to be losing my mirror every now and then, which is not cool. Be warned, I am making this game look better than it is. Really good run out of the corner there. I really don't think this is the worst version of the Nürburgring. I mean, like, we're spoiled, obviously, with laser scan shit, right? But for what kind of game this is this really bad? No. Like, some of the criticisms of this game I've really not understood. Like, I've always felt the community directed their anger at the wrong, like, issues. Like, I always felt they just drove funny. And that's where the focus should have been. Someone in the forums from day one should have been saying, look, cars just don't drive like this. And, like, I get you're going for, like, a weird, like, arcade feel, but, like, there's almost input lag. That should have been, like, the community's #1 vocal concern. And instead people would be like, well, I don't like, people would say dumb shit about this game. People would be like, oh, I don't like the camera effect when you hit a wall. And it's like, well, don't hit the fucking wall. Like, it's just an artsy thing. It's not a big deal. People be like, oh, the version of the ring isn't very accurate. And it's like, but A, it's 2011, so we don't have laser scan shit yet. Only GT did at the time. And B, like, is this bad? No. People would get mad at the Forza, like, progression thing, and it's like, okay, but do you want a game to play that, like, sucks you in and gives you something to do and something to achieve for, or do you want, like, an open sandbox? Because we know what happens when you just give someone, like, a plain racing sim. They're really not that fun on their own. Bicycled the car there. I should probably be a bitch or not be a bitch and use manual transmission, but it's just fun to fucking wheel a car around. Feels like work if you have to shift. As you can see, it's really not mattering in the progression of the game. It's not like we're slow. Alright, big straightaway. What can we talk about? I believe GT4's Nürburgring was laser scanned. And it was like the first instance of them actually doing so, like in a commercial game. I mean, in this, like for this particular track, some of the elevation changes are a bit weird. But like, again, for the game it is, it's hard to be mad at it.
We won, yeah!
So I've unlocked modern A events. That's great. Single exhibition. So I believe what that means.
Wow, you just made A grade. Congrats, man. These cars are the last steps in performance before Works and GT3.
So we're
In the
almost there.
competition, it's gonna get fierce.
Can you show the open top cars, please? Yes, I believe. Now my game is unpacked, so I apologize for the FPS drop because that's just something that happens. But there is the 8C Spider. There's I believe there's an Aston Martin. There's a bunch of like convertible cars. There is a convertible Audi. Wherever it is here. Audi R8 Spider. And this is all lost to no grip, I think. And there's a few others. There's like a Koenigsegg, I believe. There might be a convertible Gumpert, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Just in the car lot right here. One of the Koenigsegg's, it might be the Agera, I believe was an unplanned DLC car. You know what, I'm actually going to look this up. Shift to hidden DLC. Secret 5-car supercar DLC released unofficially on Game FAQs. Post from August 2011. DLC pack for PC secretly included 5 new lock cars. They are the Koenigsegg Agera, the Aston Martin DBS convertible, the Alfa Romeo 8C Spider, Audi R8 5.2 Spider, and the Pagani Zonda 5 Roadster. Supercar DLC is very nearly completely finished. The only missing feature I've noticed so far is a cockpit upgrade for the DBS. Yep. So it was everything I showed and then the Pagani. What would they have been used for? In regards to the... I'll find the Pagani here. It was just a bundle of cars. And so it was basically like if you didn't own if you didn't have the Hot Pursuit edition from having a save file of Hot Pursuit 2010, you would basically get like a stock version of the car. There's some other shit here too. Like with this mod, it unlocks like again the hidden cars. So there's like this auto build edition. Porsche. Let me find the Lamborghini. There's the Revention cop car, which again is just a fucking livery change. I don't think it changed. Oh, it did change the stats a bit. That's interesting. So a slightly faster Revention. Interesting. But yeah, I assume it's just another pack of cars. So we've unlocked Modern A, which means... What can we do here? The endurance tier here. This is what I like about this game, is once you start getting into the high tiers, you have like 20 lap races. What else is there? You know what I haven't found though is the Dr. Pepper challenges. Which I don't know why I haven't found those, but... Maybe I have to do modern D.
All right, now
Don't
we're
care.
talking. Get ready for
Look at
the
that, hot
first
laps,
taste
hot
of
laps, hot laps, more
all-American
hot
muscle.
laps.
You'll start out classic, then you'll get to hear those modern engines scream.
Modern iron hot lap, let's do this. So I have still yet to use my Cobalt that I bought at the start of the game, because you can just leapfrog between hot lap events with loaner cars. Oops.
Turns the master are 1 in
Poor
70.
design.
You'll carry a lot of speed in the boat, so you'll need some fast
And since I
footwork.
alt tapped once, I've lost FFB, but that's a superpower. I'm bad. One more lap. Glendale's always been a fun track in this game.
We won, yeah!
Just barely. It's only $355. Wow. Wow, $600. Thanks. Just don't even read what the next event is. Be like, yep, sure.
Okay, I want you to watch for the sharp turn that takes you up onto the oval. Nail that, and we'll take this.
Couldn't get the drift going like I wanted to. It's disappointing. Rip. We get another one though. Wow, and I would have had that too. I'm an idiot. There we go.
Absolutely epic drive, man. That's how you get the job
Yeah.
done.
Here's $600 for driving a lap in my car. Okay. front in the Shelby, sure. That's still really funny. I haven't got the Dr. Pepper events yet, though. Usually I have by now. Because there are like easy ways to make fuck tons of money. You get a cool car too.
By the speed you'll pick up in the second half of the track. Curbs and camber changes can throw the car off bounds, and the final corner is tight, so watch it.
Too much curb. We're good. Yeah, goddamn, the input lag is just not good. Unsatisfactory. And some of the, again, because running it in window and maybe even the streams having something to do with it, but it's just definite FPS issues that I'm suffering through. Not doing too bad, though. One to go. Shifted down when I didn't want it to. Oh well. So that's all the modern muscle hot laps done.
Epic drive, man. That's how
Up
you
there
get
with the
job
Papa
done.
John's challenges and the crew too. Yeah, no doubt. But you know what? There's one Papa John's challenge in that game that's really fun. Because the race is really long. So in my opinion, it's not the worst thing in the world. Look at us go, flying through this. What's classic muscle hot lap? Oh, Glendale again. Oh, it's like a callback. So you're on the old car on the smaller layout and then the new car on the bigger layout. That's cute. One of my minor pet peeves is the AI cars never use liveries like in Shift 1. Yeah, and I think there's a mod to fix that. That has now been lost on no grip to the sands of time.
Wow, you really showed them out there. That's P1, we're the winners.
Like even the cameras, like as it's circling around the car, is super shaky. You leveled up, thank you. 10 grand bonus cash. So can I buy a GT car yet? Oh, there we go. Dr. Pepper hot lap. Fuck yeah, boys. Literally all we do is hot lap. I was wondering when they would come. Anyway. Dr. Pepper. Yep. 3 laps. 1 grand. So I guess for all intents and purposes, this is like a Pinty's car.
That's a green light, go, go, go.
I don't mind this camera view. Again, I'm doing a way better job of showing off the game than maybe the game's actually worth. Oh, one to go. Probably drive a little deeper into one, which we're gonna do. Just barely.
Absolutely epic drive, man. That's how you get the job done.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper is... Dr. Pepper's just cherry Coke, though, is it not? Shift 2 is fantastic, but an awful sim. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, usually there's more when you do this, but oh well. Maybe it's like they unlock as you do events. But I have like 60k. Where were we? Modern B? Where's Muscle? There it is. Back to Classic Hot Lap. Willow Springs in, I didn't see what car. Any patch to turn off motion blur? No. Not in this game.
Okay.
I don't think so anyway.
Got a lot of tight-
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We crashed again. That's crash number 2. It be like that, boys. There appears to be a memory leak with the unpatched version of the game. Alright, let's get rolling. I really want to cap this at 2 hours, so however far we are is when we're all ended at.
Okay.
Still about
Force got a lot
$2,000
of
short of a
tight turns.
GT car, I
Love the
think.
way you
Yeah.
use your grip. Stay on top of it, and we can
Oh,
win this one.
FFB is back. Uh-oh. Feel like we'll be okay, though. One thing I can do, which is really dirty, is I can use a DLC car to go through, like, the, historic events. So I don't have to pay money for the car. You get money for winning the championship. And then, yeah, there's your GT car. Oh my god, this car doesn't stop. Uh-oh. That can't be right. The benchmark was a 112? So I wrecked like 3 times and still beat the hard benchmark, sure. So why not play the Origin version? I don't have Origin. I have the Steam version, so like I own this game technically. But I prefer the unpacked version because I can mod it out the ass and I can use like Cheat Engine to fuck with the cache value and dick around with all the different cars. And there's just like shit I can do with Unpacked that's more fun. But no, I think what I'll do is I'll end up
It
doing
shouldn't be
the
a problem.
historic
Take turn two
championship.
nice and wide to secure your apex. Later on, the final turn can be taken at speed. Go for it. Feels good to
So
be a
that's the
winner,
classic
doesn't it?
muscle hot lap tier finished. You can unpack the origin one. I'm an idiot then. I'd have to look into it. Because I do want like access to leaderboards and shit. I kind of miss that stuff, but I mean I don't play it enough, right? So,
Get ready to race through the
thanks,
greatest
Vaughn.
eras of motor racing.
Classics
The
hot
cars
lap.
are
Oh boy,
legendary,
more hot laps?
the
Really?
tracks are iconic,
Really?
and the driving is over the top dangerous.
Some of these races kind of look like shit though. Glendale Legends 24. What the fuck does that mean? That's a series. But like, Legends of Silverstone. That's kind of neat. 70s Masters Laurel. Oh, there we go. 5 laps around Monza. You know what? Fuck. Sure. So, let's pretend I bought the DLC. Because I have. And all the DLC cars end up being free in the shop. So, it kind of like fucks with the progression a bit. Because I think their theory back then is like, well, you paid for it. Like already with real money, so like, why shouldn't you have the car? So I could sell my Cobalt, which gets us 81k. Visuals, what's the worst paint job we can give this? They're all kind of shitty. Okay, we'll take our boys' advice here. Sure, that's fine. You said caster was like 80? Like anything above 75? Sure, let's try that. Sorry, boys, just fucking dicking around here. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing still. Yep, good. Anyway, let's go run a GT Legends Championship to close out the stream, right? That'll be fun. Am I eligible? Sure. You have zero eligible cars, 70s GT. Oh, well, fuck you. there like a 60s GT? Or even just a Legends single exhibition? Hey, that would be fun. Dijon Prenant. Hold on. What retard made this? Hazy View 8 in Legends cars. Sure, that sounds fun. You have 0 eligible cars. Fuck you. Oh, it's a Mini Cooper? Sure. I'll just do Dijon then. That sounds hilarious. Mini Coopers at the Hazy View 8. You crazy fucks. This is like the GT Legends demo, if I remember it right.
Okay, this track has seen some amazing driver battles.
Yep.
Laps are short and most corners are friendly. Expect heavy traffic. Green light.
Oh my god, that like fixed it. It doesn't have like the wandering steering anymore. That's hilarious. Thank you. I mean, it's like it's still got like the slidiness to it, but that's hilarious. Probably could have shortened the gearing. Holy shit, we're hitting 260. Kind of scary. Nope, no brakes. Old car. My bad.
We won. Good job.
Default
man.
tire
Nice
is
drive.
fixed with slicks or semi-slicks. Well, I'm on a historic car right now. So I can't really change that. Silverstone GP 75, sure. Maybe this will be the last race. I'm gonna pack it in. So we hit the 2-hour mark.
Okay, back to basics. Keep your momentum through Abbey to make the most of the farm straight. Don't lose all that speed through the Woodcote chicane. And good luck.
I just think it's amazing that I bought a car that I've never used.
That's a green light. Go, go, go.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Bad launch. Hey, this track looks familiar. It was in like 4 different games. This might actually be a good race considering they're kind of far ahead and I'm not reeling them in as quick as I thought I'd be. Or not. Sure, let's just have the AI dump each other. Cobra's pretty quick. Again, I've lost my mirror. That's legal, right? I mean, it's technically not a track cut since I went the long way around. It consider that a clean lap. I'm honored. I'm not going to level up this race, which kind of sucks, but... Oh, there we go. Man, this game looks good.
Feels good.
Anyway, that'll do it for today. Thanks for coming out, guys. I might stream a little later. I don't know what, but I'll figure something out. But obviously I gotta eat and stuff too, right? But until next time, take care.